Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Mind Fuck Podcast. Yay! Welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for taking time out to hang out with me. I am uber grateful you're here. My name is Wonu Aleshe. And sometimes I do go by Amazing Soul. Welcome to the Mind Fuck Podcast. FCK stands for fun, compassion, and kindness. And on the Mindfuck podcast, what we essentially talk about is we talk about nervous system regulation. We talk about how to start to feel safe in your body and having less overthinking, and also remember parts of ourselves that we may have forgotten along our journey. And we have like a mini tradition that we do on the show before the actual podcast. So I read a list that I titled Reminders to Being Human. And the intention behind reading that list all the time is to remind myself and also in the hopes to remind you on your journey. All right. Reminders to being human. Have fun along the journey. Show yourself compassion. Be kind to others. Being complex and being simple can hold true in the same breath. Stay curious. Hold space for pauses. Hold space for not knowing. Never underestimate the power of silence. Nature has a lot of wisdom. Pay attention. There is power in we than I. If nothing else makes sense, come back to love. Pain is our greatest teacher. And the very last one, never underestimate your ripple of existence. Yay! Welcome once again, my friend. Now, let's get into the fun part of the show. All right. I want you to picture something simple. It's early in the morning, your alarm goes off. It's not loud, but just enough to pull you out of sleep. And you don't just jump up. You lie there, your eyes are open, you're staring at the ceiling, and before your feet even touches the floor, there's already a feeling in your body. It's heavy. It's not dramatic, but it just feels heavy. Your chest feels a little tight. Your body feels like it didn't fully rest overnight. And your first thought is this: damn, I'm already tired, and the day has not even started yet. I want to talk to you about that moment today. Not burnout in the big, obvious way, but the quiet, everyday kind. The kind where you are still functioning, still showing up, still doing what needs to be done, but inside your body, something feels low, like your battery never really charges anymore. Now, because when people say build capacity, it sounds nice, right? It sounds like growth. It sounds like expansion. It sounds like more energy, more resilience, right? But what we don't talk about is this. How do you truly build capacity when you already feel like you have nothing left to give? Now, let's slow this down for a moment. You get out of your bed, you grab your phone, you check one thing, then another, and you already start to feel behind. Even though the day just started. Okay? You go to brush your teeth and you're standing there brushing your teeth in front of the mirror, but your mind is already somewhere else. You're thinking about what you didn't finish yesterday. You're thinking about what you have to do today. You're thinking about what you might not have the energy for during the day. And your body's just there, like trying to keep up with all of these thoughts that are going on a loop. I'll tell you this, my friend. I know this moment very, very well because there was a time in my life not too long ago where this was my everyday lived experience. And this was after I just transitioned out of the army. My body was tired in a way that I didn't fully understand yet because it was years of moving fast. It was years of always being on. It was years of always having to perform. It was years of having to push through. And then suddenly in 2022, everything started to slow down, but my body did not know how to, right? I remember mornings where I would wake up and I didn't even feel ready for the day. It wasn't because I didn't care, but because something in me just felt drained as fuck, right? And I used to respond to that feeling in one way. I'll tell you, I used to respond by forcing myself, pushing myself through, and just telling myself, want to be disciplined. You can't be lazy, right? I mean, I was so used to making my bed so perfectly. I mean, military style, edges were crisp, everything in place. Even on days where my body felt like it needed softness, I gave my body structure instead because that's what I knew. Do you see, my friend? And on the outside, looking at my life, it looked like I was doing well. It looked like I was a functioning adult. But on the inside, though, I was running on empty. And here's the part I want you to hear very clearly, my friend. I thought building capacity meant doing more. I thought building capacity meant pushing harder. I thought building capacity meant becoming stronger. But what I slowly started to realize through lived experience, not theory, is that capacity doesn't grow from force. True capacity grows from safety, micro moments of safety. And I did not understand that at first. Let me give you another real life example. It's the middle of the day, you're sitting down to work on something. Maybe it's on your laptop. Maybe it's something simple you've been putting off for a while, right? And you open your laptop, you look at your laptop screen, and instead of starting the task, you pause and you check your phone and you start to scroll. Then you get up to go get some water. Then you come back. Then you check your phone again to check something else. And the whole time, while you're doing that, you're telling yourself, damn, why am I like this? Damn, I just need to focus, right? But your body, my friend, your body in that moment feels tight. Your chest is slightly heavy. Your breathing is shallow, all happening at the same time. And you're trying to use pressure to move a body that doesn't even feel safe. I'll tell you this, my friend, I've been there so many times and I can count. And for a long time on my journey, I made it mean something about me, right? I thought I wasn't disciplined enough. I thought I wasn't strong enough. That was the internal story. But the truth was so much simpler than that. My body then did not have the capacity yet. Not because I was broken, but because I was tired as fuck. My body was deeply tired. And here is the shift that really started changing things for me. Very slowly, though, very practically, though. Now, instead of asking yourself, or instead of asking myself, how do I do more? I started asking myself, what can my body actually hold right now? And I answered that question honestly because that question changed everything for me on my journey. Because building capacity is not about jumping from empty to full. No, it's about increasing what you can safely hold by just a little. That's how you build true capacity. Now, let me show you what that looks like in real everyday life. There was a day, I remember this very clearly. I was sitting on my couch, my laptop was open, and I had one simple task to do. Just one. And I couldn't start the task. Not because I didn't know how, but because my body just felt off. I was tired. Normally, I would have pushed through. I would have forced myself to complete the task. That's what I would normally do. But that day, I did not. Right? That day, I closed my laptop and I just sat there. And instead of trying to fix anything, I noticed something simple happening in my body in real time. In that moment, my chest felt tight. That was it. I didn't label what was happening in my chest area. I didn't try to calm myself. I just fucking noticed it. And I told myself, there is a tight feeling right now in my chest. And I stayed with that feeling, maybe for about 60 seconds. Maybe 2 more minutes. I don't remember. Nothing dramatic happened, but something started to shift just a little. And then I opened my laptop again after about 60 seconds to 2 minutes. And I did one small part of the task, not everything, just a tiny piece. And I stopped. That was it, my friend. And I remember thinking to myself, that felt different. Not because I suddenly had all this energy, but because I did not override my body. That's how capacity started building for me in small, almost invisible moments. Let me give you another real life example. It's the evening. You're lying in your bed, your phone is in your hand, and you told yourself you were going to sleep early. But now it's been 30 minutes and you're still scrolling on your phone and your body feels tired as fuck. But your mind is still moving. The thoughts are still looping. And there's a quiet frustration within you. And you're telling yourself, damn, why can't I just sleep? I'll tell you, I know this one very, very deeply, especially during my time where there was a time in my life where my sleep was all over the place. There for years, I had like 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe 4 hours if I was lucky. And then I used to fight my body. I used to force myself to sleep. I used to try to control my sleep. But the more I tried to force myself to sleep, the worse it got. Until I shifted something. Instead of trying to sleep, I focused on something smaller. And I told myself, can I make this moment feel a little safer? Just a little safer. That's it. Sometimes that looked like just putting my phone down, right? Sometimes that looked like just lying flat on the bed. Sometimes that looked like feeling the weight of my body being supported while lying on the bed. Sometimes it looked like taking a slow sip of water. Sometimes it looked like placing my hand on my chest, not to calm myself down, but just to feel the sensation going on in my body in real time. And slowly, my friend, over time, my body started to trust those moments. My sleep did not fix itself overnight. No, what changed was my capacity increased. So from 2 hours of sleep, it increased to four, it increased to five, to eventually six, seven. Sometimes I get 8 hours of sleep now. Not because I forced it, but because I built safety in small moments. This is what I want you to see, my friend. Capacity is not built in big breakthroughs. No. Capacity is built in small, repeatable moments where your body feels, I can actually handle this. Let me bring this into something even simpler for you, my friend. You're in a conversation with someone, right? Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's your partner, excuse me, and they say something and you feel it. And there's a slight tension in your chest. I mean, you suddenly feel your jaw tighten, and your first instinct is to react. Your first instinct is to defend yourself. Your first instinct is to over explain. Your first instinct is to shut down. But this time, as opposed to doing all that, you pause just for a second and you notice, huh, there's a tight feeling in my chest right now. That's it, my friend. That's it. You don't try to fix it. No. You don't judge the feeling as it comes up. No. And in that pause, oof, something starts to open. Just a little, something starts to soften. And maybe you respond differently to your partner or your friend. Maybe softer, maybe slower. That right there, my friend, is capacity. Not reacting immediately, being able to stay with a feeling for 1 second longer than before. That is capacity. And that's how capacity grows. Capacity doesn't grow by becoming someone new. No. Capacity grows by increasing your ability to stay real time with what you're feeling in your body. And I want to say something honestly. This is not always comfortable. In the beginning, it can feel worse. That's the truth. Because at that point, you're not escaping yourself anymore. You're not pushing it away. You're actually feeling what is there, what is happening in real time. And I'll tell you this, my friend, that takes energy. So if you're listening to this, my friend, and you feel like, damn, I'm already even tired. How do I even start this? Here's the invitation. Start small. So small, it almost feels like it doesn't matter. Start from there because those are the moments your body can actually receive. Maybe starting small might look like when you're about to check your phone instead. You pause and take one breath. Maybe Not a deep breath, just not a forced breath, just one natural breath. That's it. That's what I mean by starting small. Or maybe you're walking from one room to another and you slow down slightly and just gently feel your feet on the ground. That's it. That's what I mean by starting small, right? Or maybe you're sitting down and you notice and you say to yourself, my shoulders are tense, right? And you don't try to fix the tense sensation in your shoulder. You just notice what's happening real time in your shoulder. That's it, my friend. That's what I mean by starting small. Now, these moments I just mentioned to you seem small, right? But they're not. I mean, they're teaching your body something new in real time. They're teaching your body, I don't have to rush. They're teaching your body, I don't have to force. They're teaching your body, it is safe to stay. And over time, consistency, not intensity, not perfection, your body starts to trust that. And when there is trust, my friend, capacity starts to grow. Not all at once, but steadily. And I want to bring this back to you. If you feel like you're running on empty right now, I'm not going to tell you to do more. No, I'm not going to tell you to push harder. No, I'm going to invite you to look at something simpler, right? Where in your day can you meet yourself without pressure? That's the invitation. Not to fix it, not to improve it, just meet it. Just notice what you can notice during your day because that's where it starts. Capacity, my friend, is built in the moment you do not abandon yourself. That's how you build capacity, even when you're tired, especially when you're tired. So today, as you move through your day, my friend, just notice one thing. That's the ask. Notice one thing in your day, just one, where you pause and feel something simple in your body. Just one thing. That's the ask. And just stay there for a few seconds, longer than you usually would. That's enough. And that, my friend, that's how it begins. That's how you build true capacity. As always, I want to thank you so much for listening. I want to thank you so much for being here. And I'm sending you so much love from my heart to yours. Thank you.